All right, this is it. Our first of the inevitably doomed infinite runs at the stupid Waterborne deck. This deck is so bad. So I'm going to try to talk about how it works and what we're going to try to do to ameliorate it, but I don't know, man. All right. So you come with two Kingfishers. Kingfisher is one of the worst cards in the game. It is a 1/1 flyer for 1 that goes underwater, meaning it cannot block. Meaning we have to be outpacing them on the field because we don't have blockers. Now, okay, a 1/1, maybe you put out a couple of them, they can hold off for a while, they can trade damage, but they can't because they have annoying. They go even in damage with a tree, right? They cannot outdamage a tree. They hit for 1 because they have annoying, the tree hits back for 1. They can only go plus against an empty square and against any actual card they're putting up a kind of substantial minus due to the annoying, right? And so these are just horrible cards, these Kingfishers. The one thing I think that you can kind of learn to do with them is get used to sacking your 1 drop to put out higher cards. So, for instance, let's say we have a wolf, some normal 2 drop. We play squirrel into Kingfisher, and next turn, after the Kingfisher has done its 1 damage, we draw squirrel and play squirrel Kingfisher into wolf. Right? There's something we should be very happy to sacrifice, and we should be ready to kind of move through them to get to other cards, and we should treat them as a kind of do 1 damage at the start of the game and move on to your other cards. But we should really treat them as cards we have to get rid of because they are a disaster. What's that other card, though? The Great Kraken. The Great Kraken is a very interesting card. It's a 1/1 for 1. First turn it comes into play, it goes underwater. When it comes back up, it is randomly one of the 3 Krakens. So there are 3 Krakens. The only one we've used, I believe, actually no, we've used 2 of them. But in the order of how much I like them and how much we've used them, the Bellringer Kraken is quite a decent card. If it goes on the far left, it's a 4/3 for 2. That is real value. And that means because we don't know which the Great Kraken will come up as, it's randomly one of them. Then it stays that one. It doesn't switch every turn. That we usually want to put it closer to the left. Far left, it is a chance to be a 4/3. Center left, 3/3. We want it to be in one of those squares. So it is a chance to be a 4/3 or a 3/3. And a 1/1 that evolves into a 4/3 or a 3/3, that's pretty similar to the Wolf Cub, right? But it's better because 3/3 and 4/3 is better than a wolf. So if it always turned into that Kraken, it would be better than a Wolf Cub, especially because it can survive its first turn out because it goes underwater. So it would be clearly better than a Wolf Cub, and it would be a good card, right? Good card. Okay, what else can it be? It could also be the Hand Kraken. So that's an X1 where its power is the number of cards in your hand. But this has bad synergy with the Kingfishers, which we are likely to sacrifice through, cycling as much as we can to get to higher power stuff, running our hand through quickly. But keep in mind, the goal of that card is to have a lot of cards in our hand. And then the next one, which yeah, synergizes badly with our other cards here. And our final version is the Mirror Kraken, which has the power of whatever it is facing, which is an interesting card, but it means, and it's an X3, it's 3 toughness, or 3 health. If it's facing emptiness, it does nothing. So it can often pick off one thing, and then it sits there doing nothing, waits for something to come to it, and probably just dies when that hits it. And so it's kind of one hit and a chump block, but puts no health pressure on. And having 0 health pressure is a disaster in a game where we're falling behind with our Kingfishers and we need to have some damage to keep pace. So all 3 of these cards I think are bad. Now, the Great Kraken you can only get in this deck. There is no way to get it other than this deck. So I don't really know how I'd evaluate it in another deck. But also, there are been so many situations we've seen where you need to know what tools you have to plan properly. And the Great Kraken, I want it on the left. I don't know if I need a big hand before I play it. I would like to put it paired against something, but sometimes the options on the left aren't there. Yes, if it's the mirror thing, it might be able to pick off this 2/2, but maybe if it comes the hand thing, it can't, right? You don't have reliable enough output to make particularly good decisions, especially when a lot of the output is trash. Now, the kingfishers we can boost with avian stuff. Like the avian totem helps the kingfishers, but it doesn't help the kraken. There's no totem that helps the kraken. And if there's any playable card here, it's definitely the kraken, right? If it's an improved wolf cub, it's great. If it's a 1/1 that turns into a weird mirror, I'd probably just have the weird mirror immediately so I could plan around it. So it's worse than a card I already don't like to run. And if it's a 1/1 that becomes the hand card's kind of useful, but again, you want to plan around it, and some decks don't want it, and some decks do, and it's just worse than that, and that's a card I usually wouldn't run anyway. So this must be a bad card. It has a 1/3 chance to be a pretty good card, but not amazing, and a 2/3 chance to basically be worse than cards that I'm either almost never running or needs to be in specific decks, and I need to know it's coming so I can hold on to cards in hand accordingly. So I think all three of these cards should be treated as bad. But even worse, they're all 1-drops, so I can't abuse the fair hand mechanic, or it's very hard to, because I have 3 cards I need to get rid of. So I hate this deck. I really hate this deck. Alright, we're going to take Fecundity. That has upside, right? And the rest of these cards are not very good, so my temptation is to take the Corpse Maggots and again play for upside. If I get better cards later, maybe I can do something useful with this. Also note, it gets in the way of all 1-drop strategies, and it has no plan for beating the first boss, right? The best plan for beating the first boss is have your Great Kraken get lucky, come up a 4/3 on the far left, and then it needs the pliers and a kill item to get through, right? This is so far from being viable. So, where do we go? Well, I don't think there's much point to the Woodcarver because an avian totem just will make us stick with kingfishers, which we don't want anyway. We could go to the right and get rid of one of our kingfishers, but we don't really want to put its ability on anything, because if we put it on the field mice or the corpse maggots, then we can't move those later, they're locked in. I don't think you can put cards on cards with the exact same ability, so we can't sack the kingfisher onto the kingfisher. We could sack the kingfisher onto the great kraken. Once it evolves, I think it loses prior abilities. So we could get rid of one of our kingfishers, or we could pick up a pack rat. Now we're going to get items later, so I'm not sure we want a pack rat. Let's get rid of one of our kingfishers. Now we usually won't. We should be more focused on how are we going to beat the boss than how do we get rid of all these trash cards we started with. But we still also need to get rid of these trash cards we started with. And at least that's one down, right? We have 2 left. Sure, our Kraken's hideous, but the Kingfisher is a bigger problem. We're definitely going to go left, by the way, so we have more choice of cards. The other thing about this deck is it's bad enough that, like, even with decent cards, sometimes you just struggle on the opening fights. So, like, here, what should I do? Okay, they have a flyer. If I put the Great Kraken center left, our Great Kraken won't die, but it will pump up their Flying Ants attack. If I put it far right, then if it gets the good evolve, it still doesn't pay off. Oh, I should use our items, right? The Kingfisher has flying, and I don't want flying facing their Flying Ant because they'll just outpace us. So I'm going to put the Kingfisher over on the right where it doesn't face anything, because again, that's the only thing it can even go even against. And we'll put the Kraken here where it will also not be able to go even against a lone Flying Ant, but, you know, at least it has a chance to evolve into something good. We still have some cards in our hand. Alright, 2 Flying Ants. We now have to kill one of them. We will kill one of them. Okay, we got the best version. We won't kill one of them. It still has flying. I didn't realize the flying would stick after it evolved, so we can't pick that off. So we're going worse than even against these. They're going to both be hitting for 3. We're going to take 6 damage next turn. Is there a case we should sack both of them to get out the field mice? just to get rid of the ants. Because here we're gonna hit for we hit for 4, not lethal. They hit back for 6 because we have annoying on both. So they're 2 because they'll have 2 ants. It'll be 6. So we'll be down to 3. We could then more cheap. Okay, we should probably wait 1 turn on that. But these cards are so bad. It's kind of weird because a lot of games you're given multiple decks. Oh, they get to play another flying ant. We will take a ton of damage next turn too. Great. Um, like some games have like a variety of decks, and there's kind of you end up figuring out some decks are good and some decks are bad, or like worse. But like they're all sort of intended to be somewhere in the viable range. And what I think's kind of interesting about this deck, in a way, is it's just straight terrible, right? It's just really bad at everything you want to do in this game. You're loaded with bad cards. The Kraken is the only interesting card. Well, this is tragic because we can't pick off. All right, so I have to sack. I have to sack our one allegedly good starting card to be able to pick something off here. And now I think we should be okay. When the fur dies, we'll get our corpse maggots out. So I think we're fine. But I still get to complain because these cards are trash. Oh, that's a nice placement for us because the field mice will 2-shot or kill 2 at once. And that will clear their board. We're only going to get 2 overkill damage, I guess, or 1, because this. Well, no, we're going to get 0 overkill damage because we're just hitting them for 5, and they'll be at 5. Yeah. So no overkill damage even, but I hope you hear my complaints. This deck is really rough, and so we have goals. The problem is because the first boss comes, so quickly. We get 3 fights, and what we get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9 tiles before it. We have very little time to try to get ready for the boss. Like, what if we get good items here and just can't keep them for the boss because fights on the first stage are already so hard for us? Okay, let's take a cockroach. At least we can play that. And maybe we can put that on something good if we get rid of all our bad cards. Okay, scissors, that's great. But everything can come right and we can still be screwed. Probably pliers is the best option here, right? There's a chance we can do 4 damage in a lane with our Kraken, but it's not all that high. And it doesn't look like anything we're going to see between this fight and the next one is going to be very helpful. Insects First World is pretty rough if we can't pick stuff off, and we can't because so much of our crap is flying. So let's see what they put down. Okay, they put down things in 2 lanes. Note, our Kingfisher cannot beat either of those lanes. We should still probably stick the Kraken on the far right. Now, why even bother? So much better on the left. And if we leave the ringworm there, I was thinking it can kill the ringworm, but we actually want to leave the ringworm there for a bit, just so they can't get anything else on the board, much like we don't want to take out the stump. So, guess we get our field mice here. Field mice, the only card that's going to do anything for us this whole run. And we're just going to try to get out a bunch of field mice and keep the other lanes blocked up. The ringworm will hop over to block a hit, but the worker ants will keep coming down first. So we're going to need to have another field mice ready by the time they kill our field mice, which they will next turn. And hopefully then they basically run out of stuff. Because we will have run out of stuff. So my dream here is we somehow get rid of our other Kingfisher, not quite sure how. And, okay, they will get an ant down. Not quite sure what we're going to do about that. But we do outpace it right now. Should I try to put the Kingfisher in front of it? Let's see what we get out of the Kingfisher. If we get the hand boost, it could kill that thing. No, it couldn't, but it could outpace it. Alright, I forgot the Field Mice would kill that, so we were supposed to put out the Kraken. I'm dumb, I was not noticing what their cards have. And what did we get? We got the Bellringer again. Okay, well, that's the worst square for the Bellringer, but it's more damage than nothing. And I think they're out of power, so I think we'll get 2 overkill. That's pleasant. Is there anything in our deck that ups our damage? Not really. I think we'll put out the Kingfisher on the final turn to fly over the stump for 1 extra point of damage, but this deck is trash. I guess it is neat to have like the challenge run deck, but Skullstorm is hard. It is hard enough with other decks. Like beating it with the egg deck, that's tough. You have tools, but it's tough. This one is just like you don't have tools and you have 3 anchors weighing you down. Which way are we going? We're going to the right, right? Campfire can't affect much here. Campfire's not good. No, Campfire could get rid of the Kingfisher. We're going to the Campfire. Campfire could thin our deck. Now, you might say we're doing absolutely nothing to prepare for the boss, with which I'd completely agree. What's the best chance of something that could beat the boss? Probably like a Direwolf. So let's... Ooh, okay. 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 Now we could also consider, if we get a +1, giving it to the Direwolf, because that is a game plan, right? We've done this game plan many times. On the other hand, if the Kingfisher gets to 3-1, it's not such a bad card. We do currently have the Pliers, so the Direwolf is a more long-term answer to problems. But it's so costly to get out. We're probably going to put the Corpse Maggot's ability at some point. Then we won't be able to control where it lands as much, but it'll be our best attempt. Now, if the Kingfisher was a 3-1, would it be a good card? Probably. Probably. I think the Great Kraken actually loses boosts once it goes underwater. Just so bad. So the question is, do we want 50% to make the Kingfisher a 3-1 and 50% to lose it, or 100% to get the Direwolf to a 3-5? Because we currently have Pliers and Scissors, I'm going to go ambitious and try to get either a playable Kingfisher. I'm not even sure it's good. Okay. I guess we have a playable Kingfisher. I guess we're no longer trying to get rid of it. I mean, 3-1 is a lot of power, right? So, okay. Kingfisher is now a card we legitimately use. And maybe that's the right thing to do if you see a Kingfisher. I mean, I clearly think it was the right decision here, or I wouldn't have made it. Alright, let's get our Kraken on the far left, because that's the only square it has much potential. More insects from our opponent. I'm kind of scared if we don't get a good draw on our Great Kraken, like if we get the stupid mirror, that we're just going to get destroyed by ants this fight because we have nothing that can pick them off for a while. Because we're going to take 4 next turn. Or no, we're going to take 2. The fur will block 1. What do we get? We got the hand. Okay. Let's draw a squirrel, and we'll hit for 3. And then the Corpse Maggots will come out and pick off their ant. Which will take a card out of our hand. Oh no, we really need to pick the ants off. But the Corpse Maggot will get 1. Let's draw main deck, but I don't know what we could get that's all that useful. If we get the Direwolf out this turn, then we can also get the Cockroach, and we can pick off 2 ants. Okay. So I can pick off this ant here, and that gives me Cockroach. I can pick off another ant, and then we're not getting overrun at all. And they can't get another card down onto the board, so we win next turn. Alright, alright. So we can see, you try to get the Kraken and Kingfisher out, but like, we should have no desire to hold on to them, right? Okay, actually, this is a 3-1 now, may as well do the extra damage. But we should not treat them as good cards that need to stick around. Maybe now we have to treat the Kingfisher as good because it will usually win its lane, right? Even if the opponent already starts with 2 power, it goes up to 3. Even then, it's just even in its lane. Okay, left or right? We don't need items, so it's got to be right. I'm not sure whether we're going to go for double sack or single sack and campfire. Probably single sack and campfire. Well, this is all trash. Probably got to pick the raccoon. It's the easiest thing to get off our hands if needed. Okay, let's go raccoon. And then I'm thinking we want to put corpse maggots on the direwolf just to make it easier to get out. Actually, the raccoon is kind of helpful there because it gives us something that will actually die. The problem with the stupid kraken and kingfisher is they're underwater and they just won't die. And we want them to die. So do we want a double sacrifice? Cockroach on the field mice isn't anything special. Cockroach on raccoon and field mice on raccoon is pretty dull. Field mice on our 3-1 Kingfisher would create more 3-1 Kingfishers, and maybe the 3-1 Kingfisher is actually a good card. Maybe we should treat that as good. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I hate it though. I want to go to the fire. I want to go to the fire and try to get rid of the Kraken. But I think that's the wrong choice. And we don't need a boost on our direwolf yet. Also, we have the angler as the first boss, which usually means we have a bunch of setup time. So what was our plan? I was thinking field mice on kingfisher and corpse maggots on direwolf. Save the cockroach. Maybe if we see a 1-drop later, that'll be nice. That's better than the raccoon. Yeah, so this gives a way to get that out on the board. That's a little cheaper. And then here, like 2-3-1s hits pretty hard pretty fast. If we can get more attack boosts, actually, like it could go off. So yeah, I think we make a fecund kingfisher. Just like fundamentally anything that's a 3-1 is pretty decent for 1. And maybe flying is actually good for it here. And that it doesn't die. Maybe it can hold its lane well. I don't know, man. Honestly, I think this is a phenomenal start for this deck. I think we are like 80th or 90th percentile run right now. Just for comparison to some other decks where I've been here and been like, yeah, this is pretty good. I actually I think we're like 95th percentile. I don't know. My runs with this deck have been so short and so brutal. Okay. Let's see if we get lucky on placement for the Kingfishers. That isn't it. So we, per usual, we sack an Aqua Squirrel to push one of them away. Let's keep them on the right-hand side, because we might care about the left for our Kraken. We probably don't. All right, we go to 1 here, per usual. And now we need to do a point of damage, so we'll probably send out the raccoon. Let's get another squirrel. We could do the Kraken. I hate the Kraken. Yeah, I want to be able to control how much damage I do, I think. So we just need to get the direwolf out, and we win. So we are going to beat the first boss. It was nice to get the angler. I think we probably would have lost to the trapper. Angler probably the easiest here. I like to get the prospector first usually, because I think the prospector is a little harder if you get it second, while the angler, like, he throws maybe 1 extra bullfrog at you or something, but it's not very scary. Alright, so we have it fully under control. And we could get the direwolf out this turn. Not quite lethaling. Let's hold off a turn or 2 more. I guess it is if we play the Kraken next turn, but Okay. Keep drawing squirrels. Here, have a squirrel. Because he steals your most recently played card. I've never actually talked much about the boss mechanics in these runs. I'm assuming anyone watching is familiar. Alright, let's draw a real card. Let's see what comes. Our favorite Kingfisher. Which may end up being good as a 3-1. Right. I think probably should be. I think it has to be a good card now, but I don't have to be happy about it. That's the boss. Yes. Alright, one of a bunch of things is happening. Either I'm playing way better than I did when I tried to make my stats on these runs, or we're getting way luckier. One of those has to be the case. Because I was having a ton of trouble beating the first boss. I guess if we didn't get the direwolf, we just lose, right? We needed to get, like, almost that exact card. A grizzly would have worked as well, but, like, right, we were really close to having nothing here. And just happened to get a really good item configuration. Right, everything came right so far, except the opening cards. All right, one down. But we should expect to be losing runs mid and late as well. The thing about this deck is we still haven't fixed nearly all our problems. So it's not like, yeah, we got through the first boss, we cohered our deck, now we just have to add a little power and solidify it. We still have a lot of work to do. Corpse maggots, bat, raccoon. Now, if we got rid of the raccoon and the great kraken, we'd actually like guarantee Kingfisher as our start, and that's actually a pretty good start. So I think I want to take one of the bone costs here. We're probably going to move cockroach eventually. So let's go corpse maggots. I think bat might be the right pick, but this just gives us a little more freedom with what we see. And I don't really feel the need for more flying power. Okay. I love the cave. Also, some really interesting choices after that. This next choice is going to be absolutely crucial to the run. Next choice is going to be the biggest choice of the run. Guarantee it. 5 bones. We need exactly the corpse maggot to come. 2 of the same kin. Do we have any kin? We need exactly cockroach and corpse maggots. 5 bones, we need exactly corpse maggots. Well, it's easier to get 1 card than exactly 2. And 6 hearts. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 11. But the only configuration that gets it is any with direwolf. So if we pick bones, we need exactly corpse maggots. If we pick hearts, we need exactly direwolf. Let's put faith in direwolf. Now it's going to come corpse maggots first. Okay, it didn't. Hey! Let's get an awesome card. Be generous. That's not it. That's not it. Huh. Alright, the River Snapper's horrendous. The Flying Ant basically hits for 1, then dies and makes a B, which is kind of nice. But it's also a 1-drop, and I'm thinking if we can get rid of the 2 1-drops we have that aren't the Kingfisher, like the Kingfisher's a very good start. I'm going to go Corpse Maggots, even if it's like weird abilities that don't make any sense together. And now the question is, do we want to go Goobert and get another 3-1 Kingfisher? Because again, it's a good card. Good card. Especially when it makes another one. We could get rid of a card, which would let us get rid of the stupid Great Kraken, which is really hard to get rid of otherwise. And then at the sacrificial altar, we can get rid of the raccoon. Oops, I didn't mean to stand up. We can get rid of the raccoon, and then we have a really clunky deck, but we have all Kingfishers, basically. We guaranteed Kingfisher in the opening hand. We can go left, get items, and head over to the Mycologist, which we don't really care about. Okay. So it's items versus more kingfishers versus getting rid of the non-kingfishers. Hmm. So if we get rid of the non-kingfishers, we are guaranteed kingfisher in the opening hand. But we will get rid of raccoon anyway. So if we get rid of raccoon, um, but it's going to be so hard to get rid of Great Kraken. I'm just going to get rid of Great Kraken. I'm really unsure about this decision, but if we can solidify it so we always get this 3-1 that draws another 3-1, there's a whole bunch of fights we can win like immediately, right? We hit them for 3 and we're doing 6 next turn. So unless they did more than 3 back to us, because we'll go from 4 to 7. So if they only hit us for 3 that first turn, it's really hard to hit for more than 3. We land both kingfishers, we do 6 the next turn. So I think we're really close if we can guarantee that in our opening hands to 1-turn killing things. I mean, it's a 2-turn kill, but I think it's a pretty reliable 2-turn kill. Our problem is the raccoon is awful. So the cuckoo will come down and will drop an egg, but it then will move out of the way. So it's going to keep on moving over. And so what I think we should be doing is not trying to use that square. So if we don't use it, we lose it forever. No, and we need it because we need this square because we need to play our direwolf. If we don't play our direwolf, we lose. We're trying to play our direwolf in 2 turns. Okay, that's horrible for us because now we can't leave the raccoon there. So I have to try to draw. Yeah, we're gonna lose. No! When they kill the raccoon, they bring the direwolf out. I had decided the direwolf can't come out this game unless we pay its full cost, but we don't have to pay its full cost. We don't, because they did put something on the ground. Okay. So we're going to take how much next turn? We're going to take 3 next turn. So we die next turn. We just die next turn. What can we do? There's nothing. Okay, I'm going to draw a real card. But it's 3 damage, yeah. Oh. And our direwolf doesn't quite get it. Maybe if I had boosted the direwolf instead of the kingfisher, then our direwolf would have been enough to survive here. But if we had gotten the kingfisher instead of the direwolf, we'd have lost anyway. So I can't, just which card we happen to get. Okay, lost run. That was really promising. I think we were really close to getting a consistent deck there, but we needed to not have the raccoon, which means I probably made the right choice to try to take the path that could get rid of it. And I had to get rid of the Kraken first. Not sure the Kraken would have been any better there, but I had to get rid of the Kraken before the raccoon because you couldn't get rid of the Kraken at the other stop. This was the only square we could get rid of the Kraken, besides maybe campfires. I could have tried more campfire kills on cards, but the sacrificial altars were helpful for that. That was a good run. I'm not sure if and where I went wrong, but that was... We're going to have a lot of runs end real quick, and that was one that had a chance. So bummer to lose that one. Okay, I love the skink. We know this, and the direwolf pup gives us a plan for the boss, right? So it's got to be skink and direwolf pup. There's nothing else that's really interesting here. I mean, I like the wolf. Elk fawn is okay. It's pretty clear. I end up with a lot of mud turtles in my deck, and they never play well, so I probably overvalue the mud turtle, but I don't actually think it's good. I just think it's better than absolute trash. Okay, if we go left, we won't be able to buy the skinning knife. I don't care about wood carvers, but we're going to get a wood carver either way. Want the altar or the campfire? We might want the campfire. Campfire is good for direwolf, pup, or skink, but also it could get rid of a kingfisher. We go left, we can get rid of a kingfisher immediately. Let's go right. Maybe we'll see a tribe to move into. We have no hooves and no insects. There are worse abilities than Stinky. Like, it cancels out annoying if we get, say, the avian totem. So then the kingfishers are merely horrible instead of, like, the worst cards imaginable. Upside! We did have a good kingfisher for a moment. There were no items coming up. So I'd rather not use the items if I don't have to. I'm going to put down the Kraken because it can pick off the Elk Fawn, which the Kingfisher can't because the Kingfisher is garbage. And this was the only square that both doesn't get hit, so therefore it wouldn't get hit because it goes underwater, but it also, annoying, doesn't hurt us. I probably should still sacrifice it, so I probably should have still done the Kingfisher. Yeah, I think I have to get out the Direwolf Pup while I have the chance. And we survive because they will no longer have the +1. And we will kill the elk next turn because it will jump in front of the attacks. But we might need to block a square because if they have anything coming down, we can't take 1 damage, and we're only going to kill the elk next turn. But they have nothing, so we can main deck, I guess. Draw our worst cards. Just to say, our main cards. What's the last card in our deck? Skink. Alright, that's only 1 damage. So we'll draw 2 squirrels. We'll go to 5 here, then we'll go to 9, and then we'll play both of them to get slightly more overkill damage. So what do we need? We need Campfire on the Direwolf, we want to get up to 3 power, and we need items. And then we have a plan versus the boss. Secondary objective, clean out this just horrible starting cards. Do we have a tertiary objective? Nah, that's it. So main objective is build a plan around our Direwolf to beat the boss. Which means just get the right items, but ideally get +1 power. So I think we're going to the campfire, not to the sacrificial altar. Yeah. Alright. If it's health, then I'll try to sack a Kingfisher. Black Goat. We switch into a Black Goat deck? I mean, there's not much choice here. Black Goat's an interesting card because I rarely switch into Black Goat decks, but the Black Goat deck is very good. When you can build with it from the start, it's a good game plan. Alright, so it should be noted, boosting the Kingfisher's health is completely pointless. So we could go Skink, because that's actually helpful, but I think I'm going to double Great Kraken. Because I think that will affect when it transforms, but I could be wrong. But if I'm right, there's slightly more upside to doing it on the Kraken than the Fishers, where the extra health is just nothing. But we'd rather get rid of a Kingfisher, right? Okay, let's do it on a Kingfisher. 50% we get rid of it, 50% we feel sad. Okay, that's something. Obviously, the best outcome was that this was a +1 attack, so we could get the Direwolf. But if it was going to be defense, we didn't get the worst outcome. So if there was like 50% chance we get +1 attack, 25% chance we get rid of a Kingfisher, and 25% chance we're miserable. So we got the 25th to 50th percentile option. Alright, so I think I didn't check if we have items, but we may as well use them just in case. So I think standard operating procedure, we Kingfisher into Direwolf Pup. And I'm going to put the Kingfisher not on the far right, just so we can put the Kraken there if wanted. And I don't know why I did this way because we can just play the direwolf up immediately. I got confused because I forgot we had picked up items. But this way it'll kill their elk next turn. Totally threw away the kingfisher for no reason, but honestly, no, it won't kill the elk. Stupid elk is underwater. But it does mean we actually go face here, which I guess is helpful. I'm gonna put this here because if we put the should I actually put the Kraken out? No, I don't think so. Now we'll kill the mole next turn. I guess. Let's draw a card. Okay, black goat. That doesn't help. We already have our direwolf out. Put this here so it doesn't boost their elk when it comes back. We kill the mole. We do 1 extra. We go to 9. They're gonna hit back for 3, and then we win. And hopefully we get something nice on our Krakens. Note, if it gets the mirror, even though the things are underwater, it will be able to mirror their up. We got hand. Alright, well, we'll build that to 2 then. Okay, so we need items. We have items, we have a plan for the boss. We don't have items, we have no hope whatsoever. Which is very true of all these runs. Alright, I don't see items yet, but before we make a decision at the next juncture, actually if we go left, we'll still have choices, and we are definitely going left. Turkey Vulture is useless, Cuckoo is a good card. We're just kind of amassing good 1-drops that don't particularly have any game plan. So we're going to go left, both because it is the better tile, but also because we'll be able to see 1 tile further, and we need to get items. If there's not items in that tile, we lose. Basically. Okay, there's a case we don't lose, because our direwolf pup gets up to 3/5. So it can now clear a lane of grizzlies if we can block the other lanes, which we cannot because the kingfisher and the kraken suck at blocking. So that is actually not a strategy. We still desperately need items. We didn't get items. Is there any possible out without items here? Could we move an ability in a way that would work? No, because getting rid of our bad cards means they can't block. Could the skink do something? The skink can block multiple squares on a turn. But we need the direwolf pup. The direwolf turn 1 kills a grizzly. Turn 2 kills a grizzly. Turn 3 wins. Which means we need 2 turns of blockers, which means we need 6 blockers. Skink is 2. Black goat is 1. Cuckoo is 1. That's a max of 4 blockers. So we need cards, which means we can't go to the right because the left will reduce our card count. Maybe we'll get something insanely good after the double woodcarver. I think that's our only out. I think that's it. But, yeah, this is obviously going to be a loss and a deeply depressing one, as most losses with this deck are. Alright, so we'll block one of the elk fawns coming in. We can't even kill the other elk fawn with our current hand, but, you know, what can you do? Please don't be a raven egg. Cool. There's like, I don't know what the odds are, something like 75-80% chance it's a broken egg, but if it's a raven egg, that will just outpace us. Okay, let's draw from the main deck, because if we get something with 1 power that can attack on the ground, like the kraken, we can sack the cuckoo into it, or the skink, that works. And make sure they don't get an elk, which we would have trouble outpacing. And the broken egg and the rabbit block 2 lanes, so I think we're in good shape now. Possibly they're just out of cards. That'd be delightful. Okay, not out of cards. Let's draw main deck. If we get the direwolf pup, we can draw a squirrel and pick off their... and if we got the kraken, we could pick it off too. So either way. And we can pick off the thing behind it as well through overkill damage. And we'll win next turn. Actually, seeing as the skink will kill it anyway, I think I'm missing a little overkill damage by doing it this way, but that's okay. So it's really curious to me, like, the first three cards you get determine so much, but also you really do have tons of ability to maneuver playing most decks. And so it's interesting that three cards can both be so decisive, but also so hard to move completely off of. Like, moving off a little of it, not that hard, very viable. But moving off all of it just feels horrendous. What do we want here? I'm tempted to take Bones if they give it to us. They didn't, because we don't have anything with Bone cost. At this point, we're never going to get under par on 1-drops, but I think we need a little power. Let's take a 2-drop. Does that help anything? I doubt it, but we'll see what the Carver gives us. We already picked up Stinky, which is pretty useless for, like, what we need. Alright, are any of those going to help for us? That was Insect and Reptile. Alright, so we need the Skink to be a superstar. Give me something on the Skink. Give me Undying. If the next Woodcarver is Undying, then we have hope. Because then the Skink can block about 1,000,000 lanes. Actually, will be really good that we're facing the Trapper, because the Skink could get it. So if we see Undying here, we're okay. That's like, what, 1 in 20 or something? It ain't gonna happen. Alright, we could put Stinky on our Kingfishers, I guess. It's probably an improvement, right? Because then at least their annoying ability is cancelled out. But this is the law. And this is how I think a lot of runs lose. Is just like, wow, we did not have enough squares to fix all our many problems and answer the things we need answered. And to make it worse, we got the Trapper at the start, who is the worst for us. I think I'm just gonna lose immediately. Like, I don't know how we could possibly beat the Grizzlies. Because we need Direwolf to have a lane, and we need to block the other lanes, and we just don't have enough turns of blocking, even if everything is still alive. I think it's impossible. But I guess we'll try, because Cuckoo was a pretty good first draw. We can slow their pace. But we need to have cleared the frogs. How do we clear the frogs? Well, we're going to have to clear the frogs with exactly the Kraken and the Kingfisher. Are those able to clear the frogs? I don't really know. Well, we're not lethal tier, so we'll play another turn. 4 down to 2. We have a couple turns, actually. So the thing about the Kingfisher is we die if we play it. Which is real downside. Alright, we got our other Direwolf pup, but neither of them is useful to us right now. We do survive this turn. So I guess we pass. Yeah, this is just a loss, though. So I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Nah, I ruined it by speaking. Now my nose is just going to feel bizarre. So we could Squirrel and get a Direwolf pup out, but I think we need that as a blocker, and we need the 2/1/1 to win, so playing the 1/1/1 doesn't do anything. Let's main deck and pretend it will do something. Yeah, so the problem with the Great Kraken is it goes underwater. It can't block. So we're going to play the Great Kraken, and we're going to lose. Great. Alright, that's 3 runs down. Seems about right. Really sad about run number 2. Because that one actually had hope. But 3 down. How many is it going to take? Place your bets. I say like 30. I'm going to be doing this for so many hours. I might give up. We'll see. Obviously, like, we did like 9, 10 runs on the egg deck. I'm certainly going to try that many times, but I do not want to be doing this for eternity, but I really do want to beat all the decks. That second run really had a chance. If we could have just gotten rid of the raccoon. Maybe I picked up the raccoon. Maybe my mistake was when I took the raccoon. There might have been a better choice there. All right, give me something beautiful. Some card we've never seen before. 6/6 for 2. Okay. Warren and Magpie are incredibly good cards. The Cuckoo is good, and the Grizzly might be correct. If we take the Warren and the Magpie, honestly, if we don't take the Grizzly, how do we beat the first fight? How do we do enough damage? I don't know. So we probably should take the Grizzly. But I really want to take the Warren because, like, the Warren and the Magpie and any other cards is really good. Um, Maybe we take that and we go items and we get the Pack Rat and we trust that to be our damage. And we just say we have like a base of 2 useful cards. If we can put the Magpie on the Warren, we can draw anything in the deck. We get rid of our other 1-drops, which I'd love to start doing, but I think we got to grab the Pack Rat here. Do we want to say we have enough power and can try it? I don't think we have enough power. Let's take a 2/2. But if we see something big like the Grizzlies, we now have to go for it. What are we going to do next? Probably the Sacrificial Altar, so that we can get Magpie on the Warren, just so we actually have a top tier card in the deck. Of course, it needs something to tutor, which we don't have. But the reason it's so good is because the Warren is already great, and it can ramp you. So I guess we're not getting an item refill. So let's get the Kraken out, far left. Oh, that Elk's going to be a problem. How do we outpace the Elk? How do we outpace 2 Elks that we can never attack? I don't know. Okay, we got the Bellringer. That's excellent. We can ramp to the Magpie. What does the Magpie draw? The Pack Rat. In which case we can use a Squirrel, because we're going to get a new item. So that's Warren. Let's Squirrel into Magpie. And then what square will the Pack Rat live longest? Probably the far right, because this Elk in the center right is going to move left after it attacks. And then the next one will come down next turn, and then it will take another turn for it to move to the right. Alright, Frozen Opossum, not the most beautiful card. We could avoid some damage with it, though. Let's avoid some damage with it. I'm a little worried about this fight, even though we have the 4/3. I shouldn't be worried. We have a lot of damage on board. We're going to have 6, they're going to have 4, but at some point they're going to get rid of 2 of ours, and I'd like to have ended it by then. Because we can't really play our Kingfishers without just increasing their damage just as much, unless it's an open square. And actually they kill the Kraken as soon as they come next to it, so I just wanted to end it. Not sure that was right, but we do have item generation. I wanted to go right. Yeah, let's go right. And please be like a big 3-drop. A Grizzly Bear, a Direwolf Pup. Oh, this ain't it. Wolverine is the only thing that doesn't get in the way as much of other 1-drops. Let's take Wolverine. Those cards are all horrible. Horrible cards. Alright, we have items coming up. That's important to know for the fight. Maybe we'll get good item luck. What are we doing? I was going to put the Magpie on the Warren. Maybe it's more important to just get rid of a Kingfisher. Its ability is completely counterproductive with the Wolverines, but we could drop it on the Wolverine and get it out of the way. And just start getting those cards gone. It's just so much to get rid of there. I'm going to put the Magpie on the Warren. We are really low on power. If we hadn't gotten the Bellringer last fight as the Kraken, what it came up as, I think we just lose. And I think there's just a very good chance we lose any fight that doesn't happen. There's no way we've done much overkill, right? Yeah, 2 points. So we need 5 overkill here to afford the Skinning Knife. We're not going to be getting it. And that's going to be another terrible card in our deck when the Pelt is put in. Great. Okay. So they have the jump in front of ability. Makes them easier to pick off. So we can Warren. We can use the Warren. We're going to tutor twice here. So we can grab the Kraken. And then let's grab the non-Kingfisher card. And then we can Pack Rat to get a new item. We can put that far left because an elk will move into its way. Oh. Do we still want to use items? Because we have a legitimate chance. Yeah, I should use the pliers. I should re-roll the pliers. But with the Turner and the pliers, if the Kraken came up Bellringer, we'd have a chance. Now, I'm not going to rely on that here. I'm going to try to play it the sane way. But if we now get a terrible item roll, I will feel bad about this decision. But if we get something like Scissors or another Turner, we can actually beat this legit. Actually, can we? Can we even do 5 damage to 2 squares? No, we can't. But we're close to being able to do it, right? We can pick up, there's a lot more cards we can pick up that give us a chance. Alright, we got the mirror. You can see the mirror is absolutely useless. Just horrendous card. Only good if it's facing something. Significantly hurt by having annoying. What's the last card in our deck? Oh, another Kingfisher. So we'll go to 9 here, and then we'll play both Kingfishers for slightly more overkill. I think this is the most overkill that was available to us. But I don't think we get to 7. Oh, wait, why did I put that out? I meant to leave a square open. That was so dumb. I was trying to, I needed to sacrifice the mirror to put the Wolverine out for 1 extra overkill. Because they're at 9, and we would have done 5, which still isn't enough, so it doesn't matter. Because we would have gotten 4 overkill, and we needed 5 overkill. And I don't think we had a way to get it, especially once the stupid Kraken came up wrong. Alright, so no skinning knife for us. Alright. Now, we didn't actually want this rabbit pelt, but it is a blocker, I guess. Is it a better draw than the Kingfisher? At least it doesn't lose in its lane. I mean, it loses pretty quickly, but not immediately. Scissors. Okay, we just need a big card. We just need a big card. And we have a better chance of getting it going left. I'd rather get the Campfire and the Sacrificial Altar than what's on the left, but we have to go left because we can go to the blood drop, the cost thing, and pick a big cost and get something that almost certainly will have decent attack. Because we need 5 attack now. I guess the game plan is just Warren into Pack Rat and draw a million cards. Of course, the cards we draw, as we know, are not good, but we get to draw them. And once we have good cards, if we have good cards, maybe someday we'll draw something real. I'm going to put this on the right because that's where the Raven Egg's going to move. We can pick it off next turn. We don't spawn an item because we didn't want to use one to redraw because our items are good. So we can pick off the Raven. Also, that Cuckoo landed in a really bad spot for them, opposite the fur, so it can't drop an egg there. Let's get the Great Kraken out. See what it turns into. We still have a hand, so as long as it's not the mirror, it can do damage next turn. Beautiful. And we lethal this turn, so the most damage is to Kingfisher, so it doesn't get blocked. Okay, we're not in the worst shape. We have very good items, and our deck has many problems. Right? We don't actually have any cards. But if we did have cards, our Warren would be the best card ever. So we're going to go left to try to get a high cost card. Give me a 3-draw. Nope. Give me a 3-draw. All right. Grizzly. Great. Grizzly is close to being enough. Grizzly plus a pack rat. Grizzly whatever. All right. Grizzly's a good card for us. Grizzly's the centerpiece of our deck now, along with the Warren. We get a pack rat here. Sadly, we can't get rid of cards. We've gotten rid of none of our initial 3 trash dumpster cards. Oh, and we have the Trapper to start. That's not great. Do we care about either of Insect or Reptile? I guess Warren's an Insect, so better to take Insect. Flying is not what we're looking for. Alright, the Trapper at the start is really rough. We do have 2 pack rats. So one thing I should strongly consider is if we don't think our hand can handle him, and I suspect we won't think that, I should use an item and try to redraw it. Like, the first phase of this is going to be really bad for us. So despite the fact that we have a way to beat the second phase, the first phase is not a guarantee. Please get the Warren. Yeah, no Warren. So what I think we want to do, what I think we can do, is Turner. Use the Turner. That way we steal the trap. That will kill one of the frogs, and the other frog will be in the other one's way, and we shouldn't have too much trouble outpacing. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah. Sucks to do, because that is our answer for phase 2. But if we can just keep phase 1 under control, and I think actually, no, that's not what I want to do. Yeah, let's just put the Kingfisher in a random square that, no, they'll block. I shouldn't have played this. Okay, well, I have to put it here at this point. They don't want the frog to get out of the way. That was dumb. All right, next turn we'll sack it anyway, though, probably. But now we take 2. All right, we kill the frog, which gives us a pelt. God, the stupid Kingfisher is so bad. Okay, so we're going to kill the frog this turn, and then the trap will hit us for 1, because again, the Kingfisher is the worst card. But next turn we can get rid of the Kingfisher and start trying to draw a new item. And hopefully, the only lane they can attack us after that will be the far left. So as long as we don't die on the far left, I have to get rid of our Kingfisher this turn. Okay, we get the Warren. The Warren is beautiful. Never has there been a more beautiful card. I could put it on the far left just to make sure it can block there, but I'm going to put it here. This means we can draw whatever we want, and we want the pack rat. We want to play both our pack rats, or be able to. And we're going to need 3 mana for the Grizzlies. We need 3 mana for the Grizzly, and we need to play both our pack rats. We'll soon have enough mana for the Wolverine effectively. So let's put the pack rat far left, play our first one, see what we get. Squirrel's not the answer. Okay, chuck that. We get a second chance to draw in a moment. If we get the pliers, if we get scissors, if we get Turner, if we get oh, why did I draw squirrel? I'm not thinking. It's not the end of the world though. Pliers, scissor, Turner. I think that's it. Hourglass. 4 items will win. Yeah, there's 4 items that win. Let's get our second pack rat out. Actually, let's open the center. Okay, we might need to sack our pack rat to a different square if we get the Turner. Pliers. Okay, we have it. We're going to beat the boss. The first one. Not any others, but we're going to beat the first one. So now we need to make sure we can afford the Grizzly. And then we're just going to have the pack rat finish them. And we put out the Grizzly, and we plier, and we scissors. That's fine. Pack rat can deal with that. Okay, so I don't think we fixed our deck at all. But I think that's honestly how this deck mostly works, is when you're trying to be set to beat the boss, you do not have time to fix your problems. Your problems are with you to stay. And so we just have to, we have such a good War in Magpie. If we can draw that, we draw everything we need. And we just need to have other stuff worth drawing. Okay. So let's use the this while we remember to. Grizzly is the star of the show. We beat the Trapper too, which is not the easiest first boss. Important not to play both pelts because then we wouldn't have stuff to sacrifice. Put it center right, doesn't matter. And then we don't end the turn because we have to kill a Grizzly. It's spacebar to end turn. You can also reach over and click on the bell. But... Alright, one boss down. How far did we make it in the last run? I think we were like the first fight. No, the first fight after the boss. I think it was the first fight. I think we'd seen a few things. Maybe it was the first or second fight. Early, mid, second map. Alright, these cards are trash. We do not need another terrible one drop. So let's take this. Because our game plan right now is if we can get rid of our other one drops, then have the Warren and good targets, then we can just run that. Okay, what do we need here? We need items, obviously. And I like that there's a cave up ahead, because we need all the cards that are good targets we can get. Alright, Mealworm is sacrificial fodder, and we will take that at this point. Ant Queen is doing nothing for us, and River Otter is like another Kingfisher, basically. It doesn't have flying, which maybe makes it better because it can't actually pick stuff off, but it's pretty marginal. Okay, Pliers plus a kill does it. Fan plus Bleach does it. Pliers is closer. Let's take the Pliers and the Turner. Technically, we have the tools for the boss. I think it's no chance that we make it there. Interesting choice coming up. We have the Cave, followed by the ability to get rid of a card, but the Mycologist will combine the Kingfishers, which will get rid of a card, and make the remaining one less horrendous. I think we're going to go to the Cave, but there is a case both ways, right? The actual path that's better from a Kingfisher perspective is going right to the Mycologist. Because these cards are fake cards. God, 3-1. Okay, so we're going to go to 1. If we play the Kingfisher, we just take the damage back. I guess it creates an extra bone. Yeah, maybe we'll create 1 extra bone. And my reason for that is if we draw the whatchamacallit, the whatever worm we have. Okay, they're gonna kill the stump next turn. Right. We gotta leave the beehive where it is. So we can play a pack rat. Should I redraw an item here? I don't think we're gonna make it to the end with these items, so I'm gonna take the chance to redraw. Like if we could make it to the boss with these items, I would keep them. But as we are probably going to be cycling through them because our deck is trash, I think we should try to make sure we have the most useful items we can. That's a wonderful draw. Right, if they don't play anything else, the Pack Rat outpaces their Adder, but they do play something else. Also, anything we use to kill the Adder will immediately die. Wonderful. We have another Pack Rat. We're probably going to have to use a whole bunch of items here. Is there any point to turning? No. I don't really want to scissor the Adder, but I think I should. That might have given them a lane, but whenever we attack that, we're gonna do so badly. Okay, another Adder, great. So I was thinking we can block the pelt with the pelt this turn, and that gives us time to get out the other Pack Rat, and the Pack Rat can outrace the Adder. So if they stop playing cards, we're okay here. They don't play anything. It is a terrible board for the Turner, but it's a nice card for us to have. So we can get rid of the Rattler, and we are outpacing the Adder. Okay, a Boulder is something we can put on the board if we're taking too much damage. It also isn't one shot by the Adder, so if we need to hold off damage in that lane, we can have the Boulder hold for 5 turns. Because the Boulder symbol on the Boulder is resistance to insta-kill. Okay, let's keep drawing, see what we get. I think they're out of cards. I think we held off the Storm here. And we're gonna slowly get there. We have drawn both our pack rats, so there's no redraws really that are useful. Okay, we're at 5. I think it's worth having the Wolverine eat the Adder, or trade for the Adder, because we're on pace to get to 9 damage, so we can look for the most overkill from there. But I'm not sure there's going to be much overkill done. Okay. Yeah, next turn we Mealworm Warren. Warren creates a rabbit, we draw a squirrel, and that gets us the Grizzly for slightly more overkill for no actual use, but I like maximizing things, you know. Grizzly. I forgot we had an elk in our deck. This deck is trash. Which is to say, I thought the last one was like 95th. I was saying, but I think like higher than that percentile deck. You know, this deck's trash. 90th percentile deck, you know, for this start. Very good deck given our start. Completely useless deck in general. Except the Magpie Warren is a great card. I really want to go left. I think having targets for the Magpie Warren, or just something we can draw that, like, when we get it down, we're in good shape, is so important that isn't as costly as the Grizzly. These are not good for us. 5 bones, can we do that? I don't think so. We need exactly Wolverine. 4 blood. We need a pack rat. Same species, we need 2 kingfishers. Alright, we're gonna go blood. I think we're not gonna pass this trial, which probably means I should have gone to the right. Yeah, that's not it. Wait, didn't I take blood there? Oh, the mealworm was no blood. I was thinking, we got the grizzly, we must have passed blood, but no, we didn't. Alright, well, we can get rid of Kingfisher number 1. First horrible card down. 2 to go. And I think this is the fight we lost on last time. Mid-World 2. Where are we going after this? Probably depends if we use our items. We could go to the campfire. That gives us a way to try to get rid of a card. And also, if we could up the Grizzly's strength 1, then it doesn't need as much help against the boss, right? Then the Turner is enough. Oh no. How much damage are we taking? 3. No, 5. No, 3. Okay. So we may as well get the Kraken out. Let's throw out a boulder. Let's not feel as bad here. It's a little bad to have 2 of the squares blocked by items because it makes it harder for us to get out our Grizzly. But we're probably just going to we're going to wait for the stump to die and then land the Grizzly where it was, basically, I think is the only strategy. Alright, the Mantises don't boost the ants. So we're going to start drawing for this. The Kingfisher's totally useless. We got the Mirror, which is horrible. But no more horrible than anything else. Luckily, that takes that hit. We might end up turning, because we can get items after this. But we also can now play the Grizzly. So the question is, do we survive if we play the Grizzly? And the answer is, if we kill one of the ants, we take 3, which kills us. So we're gonna need, yeah, we take 3. Shame we don't have one more life. Okay, so we're gonna need to turn, but that means we need to play the grizzly first. Yeah, we have to play the grizzly first, so that when we turn, we don't give them our stupid mirror thing. Or do we want to give them our stupid mirror thing? No, because then we can't play the grizzly. Which line do we want to hit? My instinct is bee and mantis, or worker ant and mantis. Because another worker ant's going to come down. I don't want them massing worker ants. So I think we put the grizzly in column 4. And then we turn. And we're going to need new items, but this was to be expected. And we kill that, which is nice. Kill that, and we only take 2. And then we're outpacing. Actually, our grizzly's going to die very soon. So we're not outpacing for long. The grizzly goes to 1 this turn and dies the next. But we are outpacing for the moment. And I think we'll put the pack rat in front of the mantis, and it'll pick off the. Oh, that killed the grizzly. Jeez. So we have to kill a worker ant, right? Is that just lethal? We lost again. Kill a worker ant. We take 3. We do 1. Okay, we can kill a worker ant and we live this turn. No, we don't do 1 because we lose our worker ant. But we have to play the pack rat. If we're gonna take 4 anyway, no, we'll take 3 if we go in front of one of the worker ants. We'll take 2. We'll only take 2. So we continue the game if we go here. Okay, the black goat does not help at all. We only take 2. They threaten 3 next turn, which I don't think we can possibly block. God, this deck was trash. Yeah, alright. Another rundown. I should have drawn the other deck because could have gone Wolverine. That doesn't save us. No, there was no. But I should have drawn the other deck in case there was like a bone thing. I don't know if we had the like turkey vulture or something in it. Okay, is that 4 down? I think that's 4 down. Runs 1 and 4 were good, if I'm counting right. They're all going to blend together. We're going to lose some so quickly that it's going to be really hard to keep track. The video will say, though. You can look at the chapter and it'll say run number 37. Okay. That's our farthest run, or tied farthest run, is Second Fight World 2. Yeah. And we'd cleaned up none of our problems. But we did have an amazing war. And when we drew the war in, we were really never in much trouble. Speaks to how good that card is. Alright, there's a sack altar, a campfire, and a carver. We don't really care about the carver. We did for ants. It's great for ants. Are any of these cards? Alright, I guess we're going to take the grizzly because we are. And I guess it's the mantis. The cat has an interesting ability. It's just not always easy to keep it alive. And also we don't actually have 1-drops we want to get out. I could see it being the wolf. Just take some power. See it being the cat. I'm going to go mantis. Alright. The grizzly gives us partial answer to things. So now what? Probably campfire? There's nothing we really want to move. Putting Bifurcated Strike on the Grizzly is funny, but not super helpful. Right? Because it's how much damage can you do to a lane, and Bifurcated Strike on a single thing doesn't really help that. Okay. Oh, interesting choice. So, Mantis. We could get a 2-1 Mantis. That's just really good. 4 power for a 1-drop is great. We could either get a 3-1 Kingfisher or get rid of a Kingfisher. Either outcome is good. Or we could get the Grizzly up to a 5-6, in which case it needs way less help for the bosses. So I've been going kind of the responsible pick where I focus on the boss. I think I'm going to go Kingfisher here. I think we're so early. We'll see a bunch of things. And I'd like to take this opportunity to actually have some power in my deck. Or fix a problem that was a nightmare last time. Now, we don't have a Fecund Kingfisher. This is nowhere as good as the Kingfisher we had in the last run. Like, much worse, right? Because the second one, the damage is super relevant to ending fights quickly. But if we can put the Mantis ability on our Super Kingfisher, that can one-shot fights. So maybe that's the goal now, is Mantis on the Kingfisher. Right, what do you have for me? Kingfishers. All right. Not much to do about that. I don't think there was an item refill. Am I making that up? I don't think there was an item refill. So this Great Kraken will get outpaced, but we were going to get -1 in this lane anyway. I think the Kingfishers will stay on the left side here, because the first one will switch with the second one, and then the second one will switch back, and they will never push the Beehive out of the way, which means the whole game is going to be fought in the left 2 lanes. Yeah. Okay, we got the Bell Ringer. Wonderful. Yeah, Mantis is nice. Alright, the Bell Ringer now outpaces. So I think we just win if we do nothing. Like, we don't have to play cards. And that's good, because our cards are terrible, so we don't want to play them. But we'll try to figure out how to maximum overkill this. I've been really lucky on Bell Ringers. No need to play anything this turn. We go to 9, we go down to 7, so next turn is our lethal turn. And I think we'll play a Mantis and a Kingfisher, so we do an extra 2 damage. Nothing special or fancy, but... And I'm going to put the Mantis here so we don't get the extra animation of the Beehive giving us a bee. Oh, and it's our good Kingfisher. Yeah, I like this Kingfisher. And this Kingfisher with Bifurcated Strike could one-shot fights, right? And this is not like a Kingfisher special thing, but actually having flying if you're 3-1 Bifurcated Strike is kind of relevant. So did we actually find a use where it was a real card? Not really, because like you could give anything +2 and then move the Mantis ability to it. But most things you might not want to take the risk. You really want me to have another Kingfisher. Wow. Just so rude. Alright, we're taking the River Snapper. Horrible card. Best card there. What can we do? There's items up ahead, so the next fight we have to use items. I'm actually really enthused this run because I think a Kingfisher one-shotting fights is just hilarious. So we can get the Mantis to the Kingfisher. And now we have 2 cards to get rid of. If we get good items, though, we can beat things. And we now, because the Kingfisher is Bifurcated Strike, the Mantis would have worked for this too. That plus the Grizzly gets the 5 damage, which is part of the reason I didn't put the attack on the Grizzly as we had the Mantis. I don't think I said. Because I'm not sure I thought of it, but let's pretend I have. Because it's definitely a good reason to have done that. So we'll pretend that was in my head. I don't think it was, though. But, you know, it's really easy after you've noticed something to, like, talk as if you've always noticed it. But I don't think I have. Makes sense now. They can block flying. Does that change much here? That means we could kill them in some spots we couldn't normally. I want to leave those lanes blocked. It's our shitty Kingfisher. That's okay. It can hit an empty lane. I'm probably just going to draw from our main deck, because I know within the next 2 cards we get our instant win Kingfisher. And so as long as we don't lose in the next 2 turns, which is unlikely but possible, we're good. Alright, we got the hand one. Yeah, so we got our genuinely incredible Kingfisher. And yeah, let's go. I'm not sure never before has there been a good Kingfisher, but I thought our Kingfisher a couple of games ago was the best Kingfisher I'd ever seen by far. This one's better. It is interesting. Because you're more willing to lose a card, it also has a better chance to become good. I think we go bones here. We have no bones costs. And if we get something like a cockroach, that can be really useful. Got to go items, as much as it would be funny to keep boosting our shit. Very important to go items. Scissors. Alright, we're good. We have a plan. Given that scissors is already sufficient, I think we might go squirrel. I think we're more likely to get in trouble because we don't have a squirrel than because we don't have flyers. Is that true? It's close. Because the thing is, if we lose one of the Kingfisher or the Grizzly, then we need one more damage. Because if we lose the Grizzly, the Kingfisher can do 3, and we'll need something else to attack that lane, but all our other attackers are basically 1. And if we lose the Kingfisher, the Grizzly does 4. So let's take the flyers. Okay, there's going to be another item coming up, so if we have to use items, that's not the end of the world. I'd like to get a pack rat, though. I actually think the goal there should be a pack rat, because we have so few things that do not 1 damage, and it would be nice to have a little more item modality. Oh, we are going to be playing this like it's a Mantis deck. If we can get down to just this Kingfisher, that would be amazing. Actually, the River Turtle's kind of nice because I don't mind putting horrible garbage abilities on it because it's a horrible garbage card. So if we had like a sacrificial altar or something, what do we want? We want the pack rat. I want to get rid of the Kingfisher and the Great Kraken, but we can't yet. 2-drop, 3-drop blood. Bones. It's between 2-drop and bones. Cockroaches can eat a lot of bones, so let's go 2-drop. Sure, wolf's fine. So if it's health, we go something we want to get rid of. We have a 50% chance to get rid of it. If it was power, we have options. But health we should use to get rid of something. If we get a mycologist, we can combine our Kingfishers. So I think Great Kraken is the harder card to get rid of. So I'm going to put it on the Great Kraken. Try to get rid of it this way. Because you have this unique special card. Please, yes! Okay, we are 1 mycologist away from having 1 turn kills on every normal fight. Before the end of map 1. With the fish deck. With this horrible, horrible deck. That's remarkable. I guess anything is possible. We're going to now immediately lose this run. Like, we're going to fail to beat the boss. It's fine. Proof of concept. Okay. Maybe we'll get lucky on their Kingfisher locations. Because when they get in each other's way, it's beautiful. Alright, did we get our good Kingfisher? We did. So we could end phase 1 immediately, but we should not, because we do not have the power. So we want their second Kingfisher to appear center left. That's not center left. Okay. So we sack an Aqua Squirrel. Let's draw a card. Okay. This is actually really bad, I think. We go to 1. And the problem is we need to do damage. So I was hoping to draw like the Kraken or another Kingfisher. Something that could do damage slowly. But we didn't get it. So now we need damage this turn. Right? And so I think I have to play the Kingfisher this turn. But if I play the Kingfisher this turn, we kill them really quickly. And we do not want to kill them quickly. Oh, maybe it works. Okay. So we play Squirrel into Kingfisher, right? And that goes to 7. They hit us back for 1. We're at 6. We draw a card, a squirrel. So that will be 1 squirrel. And we hit them to finish this phase. We move to the second phase. We draw a second squirrel. We sack those in the Kingfishers for the Grizzly. And we use scissors and the flyers. It works. Oh, can I put this here to give them an extra point of damage? I will put this here to give them an extra point of damage. I think so we go to 7, 5. No, it's still lethal anyway. But we still want to put it in the center. Because we want to hit both squares. Oh no, I should have put it on the edge because then we do damage slower. Because we're not relying on this for the second phase. Oh, I could have given us more time. Now we'd still have to like sack Aqua Squirrels to save it, so I'm not sure it makes that much difference. But it's good we get another draw in between phases. Like we finish this phase, and then when the next phase starts, we get a draw. Otherwise, this wouldn't have worked. But okay, I think after we fail this run, I'm gonna call it for the video. But we go to phase 2, we draw a squirrel, and we did it. And we just need a mycologist. Even a sacrificial altar will work, right? Because a sacrificial altar, we get rid of the Kingfisher in like a really stupid way, like putting its ability on the River Snapper, or maybe the Wolf. But let's go far left, like our politics. Yeah. I'm really glad we picked up the Grizzly at the start. I think this is a deck where you have to, like so many of the decks that are a little weaker, you see people do tier lists and they put Grizzly and Direwolf like pretty low in those tier lists. And it's not that your deck wants a lot of them, but it wants some. Most decks, not all decks. And like, yes, the Bones deck the Goat deck wants them more because it's easier for that deck to play them. All right, that's horrible. Please give me something that isn't a 1-drop. That's not a 1-drop. All right, map 2. We were probably in better shape the first run, but not by much. Okay, we can't guarantee getting rid of a card immediately, but we can if we beat the first fight. Ooh, it's close. It's close. Alright, 4 attacks, 6 hearts, 5 bones. There's a case we should be trying to fail, but I don't actually think so. We have more attacker hearts. 3, 1, 4, 2, 8, 8, 9, 15, 10, 16, 13, 18, 15, 20, 17, 25. It is about 1.5 to 1. I guess we're slightly more likely on this one, probably. But it's very marginal. Alright. Either one was going to be passed by the Grizzly alone, so please not 1-drops. So that alpha is hilarious because it dodges underwater, and if it's hit, it gives a bonus, but it will never get hit. The Raven has annoying movement, but getting these is nice. The Bat is bones, so not a cost we have. I don't like the underwater thing, but the +1 to the things next to it feels pretty relevant. And we don't, I think, have bone cost stuff, right? We might have a cockroach. Do we have anything? Yeah, we have a cockroach. Okay, that's fine. We should probably fill items here. So we could campfire, and we'd have a 50% chance to get rid of the bad Kingfisher. We are only one battle away from safety, but if we get through that one battle, the mycologist will get rid of our other kingfisher. It will also boost this kingfisher from a 3-1 to a 4-2, which is fun. Items should make this a little more reliable than a 50% shot. So we definitely take the Turner. And I'm going to take the hourglass, or not the hourglass, I can't brain, the seeing glass thing. Because that means we can guarantee the kingfisher even if we don't get it. So we will beat this fight because the kingfisher can one-shot it. And we will, like, use that item if we draw badly. Yeah. Is this our good kingfisher? I don't think so. Yeah. So we're going to draw our better kingfisher so we can one-shot the fight. So that there's no risk. Right? Because our upside now is really high. We actually have a good deck. And if we actually have a good deck, we should be willing to give up some of our current value to continue, right? If we have a terrible deck, we should take high risks because our deck is not going to beat the run. If we have a really good deck, we should do things that minimize risk. Ooh, we're going to get 2 caves. This is great. I think I must have gotten better at this game. My runs are going so much better than they used to. I think I must be making better decisions. So we already did this power versus hearts thing. We added a new card that's a 2-1. Favors power slightly. Alright, we'll stick with power. Alright. Oh, I was thinking we were already there with the direwolf, but we weren't. Alright, I don't want 1-drops. I don't want 1-drops. Listen. Why would you do this to me? And these are really hard 1-drops to get rid of. This is so rude. This does happen sometimes. Alright, we'll take the cat. The cat, because it can dodge away and because it helps us pay for other stuff, it's kind of useful. But it's not what we wanted to see. It doesn't have any damage pressure, which means it has no healing, which means you can just lose the fight the turn you play it. So we get to get rid of our final kingfisher. That should have been our last 1-drop. Now the most important tile on the board is the get rid of a card tile. No other tile matters compared to that tile because we need the kingfisher in every hand. So we'll probably go to the to Goobert and copy it because at least then we'll have a 2/3 chance of it being the one we get. Obviously, it's really weird to turn down an item. You can see why when I was first playing, I tried to fail the caves because I was so worried they'd give me 3 1-drops, and it was a way where I could try to minimize that chance. It is really rare. Now they're trolling me. They gave me the cat and the kingfisher, which I guess is nice. And here we can show off, for the first time in any of these videos, the cat's ability, which is it can infinitely sack for other cards without dying. Which seems like a great ability, and I think is fine. I really like it, this version we have, because it both evolves, which I don't actually know what the cat evolves into. If the cat, there's a chance it does something really cool. So I'm going to, at some point, hopefully we'll get it on the turn for a full board, because I want to see what it evolves into. But also, with the skink ability, it can survive much better than the cat usually can. Right, 4 blood, 5 bones. We're not going to try to fail this. I really think it's right to succeed, even though we can get screwed as we just did. The upside is really high. Though we should be reducing risk, so maybe we should be trying to fail. We probably should be. Alright, another stupid cat. Alright, this is a great bat. This bat, if we can get it out, means we can search up our kingfisher even if we didn't have it. We're definitely taking the bat here. Magpie ability, so good. What a great card. And, okay, we should go for the campfire. So we don't have to decide that now. But if we're going right, we're locking into the campfire. Because that gives us a chance to get rid of the cat, and we need to be just kingfisher. We have the Turner. The Turner's good enough right now. I don't mind having that as my only item. That should be enough to clear with most hands. Okay, we're copying the kingfisher. Yeah. I really wish we hadn't gotten that cat. I think the cat is a good card. It's just we needed to not get it. 4/4. Beautiful. I mean, I guess its health doesn't matter at all, but I'm glad it didn't lose attack. So now we have a 2/3 chance to not get screwed with the cat, and even if we do get the cat, we have 2 other cards in our hand that give us a chance to not be completely screwed. This is a bad board for the Kingfisher. It is nowhere to attack and win immediately. Should not put it where it's going to get hit by Stinky, but it will win in 2 turns. Good job. This was a bad square to put it because the rabbit will hit us now. That was silly. Oh, sorry, it wins in 1 turn. The boulder doesn't block flying. I thought it was a grand fur because I'm a buffoon. Okay, great. Good job to the Kingfisher. And I really hope there's a 50% shot this campfire up ahead gets rid of the 1-drop. Let's go this way. We can guarantee not getting a 1-drop. I don't want more bones cards, so I'd like to take a 2-drop here. Beautiful. Garbage card, but we'll take it. And we got the Prospector. +1. So obviously it's really tempting to go for something good here, right? To upgrade something that is a good card. But if we get rid of the cat, we have guaranteed Kingfishers. If we keep the cat, we don't. Also, if the cat's a 2/1, the cat's a better card, right? Then it's not such a disaster we get the cat. Alright, this is not the outcome I wanted, but again, we're trying to mitigate risk here. We're making the problem with our deck less of a problem. This is the furthest I'm pretty sure I've ever gone with this stupid deck. Okay, insects or reptiles? Neither? Alright, I guess our river snappers are reptiles. That's pretty useless, though. The egg's not relevant. More often, we're going to end up in insects than reptiles, maybe. We have the cockroach. Not even sure that's true. Oh, okay. We do have the cockroach. I'm sure that's true. But, we do have 2 stupid river turtles, and if they could be less stupid, that would be nice. I don't know how I feel about this run. Often at this point in runs, especially when you have, a 1-turn kill with the Kingfisher, you're in really good shape. I don't know if we are with the cat. I don't know how reliable we are. It's a really hard card to get rid of because you can't alter it away. How long have we been going? It's been a long video. I gotta stop soon. Alright, we're definitely stopping after this video. So we can't Kingfisher immediately, because then we won't have enough to kill them. So we have to go to 1. Okay, we go to 1. Yeah, we also don't have good ways with the Kingfisher to prepare for stage 2. So we go to 1. We draw a card. We just need 1 power. We're not going to get 1 power. Okay, we have to play the Kingfisher. Do I put it so we go in the far left? If I put it... Okay, so we have 3 choices of where to put the Kingfisher. If we put it center right, we do 8 damage, we go to 9. We definitely beat this phase this turn. And we can use the turner to clear the row on the left. But we're miserable, right? We lose. We can't do 1 more damage to the lane we open up. Okay, so we can't do that. If we put it far left, we also can't win because the turner will give it to them. So I think we have to put it center left. I'm so glad they have Stinky. It means we do less damage here. So we only hit them for 3, and they hit us back for 4, which is great because it elongates this part of the fight, and we need it to take longer. So we only go to 7. Then we go down to 3. Then we only go to 9. Yeah, this is great. Given that it's not so good. No, is this terrible? Because the lane we're opening up is going to be far left. Oh no. We need our other Kingfisher. Okay. How much are we taking this turn? We're going to take 7. We'll go up to 9. Be down to 2. Okay, I have to take it. Oh man, I might have screwed this up. We're gonna need our other Kingfisher. We're gonna need to really extend this part of the fight, which means we're gonna need to like clear the board and keep it under control. And this does not look like that's not where I wanted them to put something, because that's the line I was gonna clear. I was hoping they'd put it behind anything else. Anything else. Okay, so I was gonna put the wolf center right. I still kind of think I have to. The upside is that will get our bat out. That will get our bat out. Because we'll get enough bones now to play the bat. We do 6 here, which isn't lethal. We took more than 6. That's great. We do kill that wolf. We go to 8, and then they hit us for 4. We go down to 4. So next turn we have to be really careful. We probably have to give up our Kingfisher. But we have to do it. Because we go to 8 and then down to 4. I wish we could just like hand them a life point, you know? Oh, and they're threatening so much damage too, because the wolf got through the boulder. We can't end it this turn. Can we? I think I have to main deck. No. We need like the cat or a bones card. The cat or a bones card, and we win. Because we play the bat. Now the bat will give us a second thing to sacrifice. Yes. Okay. So we're going to play the bat. Do that first. Okay. We're going to play the bat. That gives us 2 things we need to sacrifice. We have to sacrifice. The bat will tutor out the other Kingfisher. One of those is sacked to the Kingfisher. We will have 1 chance to draw a squirrel, and the other 2 things are sacked to the other thing. A river turtle's the like ideal draw here. We win on a river turtle. Cockroach, does it work? We have 5 bones. We can't play both. So we'll go to 1 bone. The Kingfisher's in the wrong spot. That's the whole problem. Is the Kingfisher's in the wrong spot. I think I blew it. There's no way to do anything on this board, right? We just die. We take 7, we're doing 10. Like, we can't... Okay, we use the bat. I'm going to put it far right, because that's a square I know we won't need. We have to draw the Kingfisher. Is that the answer? We have to just naturally draw the Kingfisher. The cat can buy us time. The cat can buy time, because we need to draw 1 draw. So we could draw either 1 draw, right? So the problem is, when we go to the next phase, the turner will push my Kingfisher 1 to the left, and the open lane will be on the far left. So we need 5 damage to the far left. So we need the other Kingfisher, which can do 4 damage, and anything that can do 1. But we don't have enough bones to do the 1, right? We don't have enough bones to do the 1. We have the cockroach in our hand, but we're only going to have 1 bone. If we play for the cat or the Kingfisher, that gets us to 2 bones. It's just not good enough. We need both, because then we can sacrifice our Kingfisher and our bat. Oh, we will have something else to sacrifice, because we steal a grizzly. So if we draw any 1 or 2 draw, we can play any card in our deck except the bat. We need to draw anything but the bat. We take the Kingfisher, we table turner and draw main deck, and we have 3 things to sacrifice, including the grizzly. One of them goes to the kingfisher. The other 2 go to any of the other cards except the bat. Yeah, if we don't draw the bat, we win. We have a 6 out of 7 chance of victory. So we clear this phase. I think I must have screwed this fight up. I think I must have done something wrong, but I don't know what. Oh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. We have a chance. We have a real chance, and it's 6 out of 7. And I don't believe it's going to happen. Oh, thank everything. Okay. So here's what we do. We turn, we get the grizzly, that's critical. We can now put the stupid river snapper in the far left for that 1 point of damage. And then we put our other kingfisher center left for 4. And we beat the second boss. Ugh. Ugh. That was horrible. And it wasn't even to blame on the cat. Just really hard to beat bosses. We don't have a good deck to beat bosses. The kingfisher almost does the damage too quickly, so we can't extend the fight, and we can't pick stuff off because it flies. Alright, well, it's not the skink. Let's take the grizzly. Maybe we'll combine our grizzlies. That was really rough. Map 3. Okay. Focus up. Sacrificial altar cannot get rid of the stupid cat. So I think what we do... Okay. My first instinct is go left and make another kingfisher to try to increase reliability. Second instinct is we have to grab the items. I think I want another kingfisher. Which gives us more centralized. We have more options if we go right later on, but either way I want to go left. I just want to go right then left or straight left. I think we should get another kingfisher. I think we gotta lower the odds of the cat being in our opening draw and raise the odds of a strong kingfisher soon after if that happens. Alright, let's just have a million grizzlies. Oh man, that last fight was so scary. It's horrifying. It took me a while to realize we were going to have the grizzly as a sacrifice option. Alright, so we'll copy the better kingfisher, not that it makes much difference. I would love to combine our bats. If we can go to the mycologist, that would be great. Because one of our bats, as we saw, was a risky draw. Now that's horrible. Okay, I would love to go to the mycologist to fix that, because that kingfisher does not one-shot. It lost the ability. Now has a trash ability. Oh man, this was so good, and now it's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. Like, we get to one-shot this fight, right? If we just get lucky now, it's easy. But if we do not get lucky, and the kingfishers are good against the final boss because they dodge its counterattacks. You just need to make sure one lane is blocked, and the kingfisher will clean up. So it's really close to being in good shape. I really am getting nervous about bone cost, so I really would love a 2-cost thing here. Alright, let's just take it. Okay, we love the Bell Ringer. Not really relevant to our deck, but we love it in general. Woodcarver is completely meaningless to us, I think. Insects. Important to remember, bats aren't bugs. Thanks, Calvin. Do we care about Ooved? No, not at all. Alright, let's give the skink ability to our stupid something? Cockroach? Oh, the skink part will have the cockroach ability. That actually is quite nice. I was really hoping we'd see the get rid of a card. Oops, didn't mean to stand up, just scrolled too far as it's running slow. Alright, we probably go to the right here because the campfire. Campfire is a chance to get rid of the cat. Alright, just be nice, give me the right kingfisher. Okay, they gave me the cat and the kingfisher. I will take it. Now, I can't draw a card turn 1. We'll play the cat first, just for an extra damage. If they had given me the cat plus the wrong kingfisher, that would also have been sufficient. And the cat is a good card. It's just we kind of we don't want these fights to happen, right? If they go multiple turns, we have a very good chance of losing, especially because we have no items. And we're not getting items. Right, so we're definitely going for the campfire, because we're definitely trying to get rid of the problem cards. There's a case the 4/4 Kingfisher is now our biggest problem, but I don't think so. I think that's just going to outpace stuff. Alright, 3 sigils is always the easiest to pass. Let's do that. I still want to pass these. I like having fun stuff. Hey, we failed. That's okay too. Probably for the best, actually. Just guarantees we don't get another 1-drop. But I'm not sure. I like passing. I see a mycologist. I forget why I wanted the mycologist. I also see items, so we're almost certainly going to get items. If our cat was a 4/1, that's got to be very good, right? Like, I have to stop complaining if we get a 4/1 cat. A 4/1 cat must be good. With good abilities, yeah. So if we lose it or keep it here, we must be in good shape, except our second king. Wow. This cat has 9 lives. I wonder if there's like a thing in the game. I would not be surprised if there was a thing in the game where they will not eat the cat because the cat has 9 lives. If you sacrifice 9 times through the cat, I think it transforms into something else, and I'm wondering if it evolves into that naturally. I think we're going to go right to grab the mycologist. I do forget why I wanted the mycologist. It might have been to combine kingfishers again. Okay, I have something to do after this finishes. Alright. So we did get just the cat, but the cat is now pretty good. Actually, the moose is annoying. So I guess we'll do here. We'll hit them, the moose will hit us. Eventually the moose will try to hit the cat. The cat will dodge. We need some good draws here. Okay, Elder Cat, 5/3. Interesting. Let's draw. If we get a 1-drop, we can just play it. And our cat won't die this turn, it will dodge. Little sad it's an Elder Cat and not the super thing it turns into. Oh, shoot! It leaves a 5-drop? Oh, man. Okay, that's crazy. So we are good on this fight. This is not going to be a problem. And let's get the River Snapper out through the cat, because the cat still has this ability. That blocks up this lane well. Now they can block with the Mole Man and the Mole, but they lose next turn. Okay, the cat's good. The cat is a good card. We no longer have to worry about the cat. Yeah. Alright, they do survive this turn, actually, too. It's a little annoying. Can't even play this bad bat. Oh, that's what I wanted the mycologist for. I wanted to combine the bats. I wanted to combine the bats. Okay, so we win this turn. That went really well. Good job to the Elder Cat. Oh! We should definitely draw an item. Forgot we had stuff like this. And I should have removed the thing from the Elder Cat line. Fantastic. Alright. We made mistakes, but we got a Turner. And this is a good cat. Alright, I'm going to pause for a moment, and then we'll finish up. Okay, let's close this out. Hopefully. Okay, what are we trying to do now? We don't need the campfire because we no longer have something we need to get rid of. It's so funny that the River Snapper saved me. What a shit card. I think we do the Cave and the Mycologist. We combine the Bats, maybe? We could also make such an awesome Kingfisher. Maybe we just make the greatest Kingfisher of all time. But probably the Bats. Probably the Bats. We could put the Cockroach on something. Not sure we have a good target for that. So there's a bunch of nice things to do that way. We don't need the item, but the item might be nice. Go left. We don't have pelts or anything. It's not a problem we need to fix. Yeah, let's go right and figure it out as we go. Maybe we can get another sweet card here. At our beloved cave. Everything still working, recording? Yeah. Okay, let's just do 3 sigils. I admit we have some river turtles now, so there is a chance we don't get 3 sigils, but I have trust. Any proper deck, this should be the best odds. Alright, we got 3 sigils just from the bat. Weirdly, we got 0 others, but so maybe it wasn't the best call with this deck. Alright. Horrendous, because the Turkey Vulture is one of the worst cards. Not relevant. Okay, we'll take this weird cockroach. Maybe we'll combine our cockroaches? Have, like, a kind of interesting, goofy cockroach? Yeah, let's move some abilities around and do this. So there's going to be Kingfisher, Cockroach, Mud Turtle, Grizzly, I guess will be the options. Those are the ones that come to mind that we have dupes of. Many things. Okay. Okay, we can get rid of our bad Kingfisher that doesn't double hit. That's gotta be the right choice. That's gotta be the right choice. Okay. We can make a fantastic 8/6 Kingfisher. So, Kingfisher came good. We really did end up beating each one of these, kind of how the deck, or at least with something from the initial deck, we never went completely afield. Again, assuming I win here, which I gotta keep reminding myself is not guaranteed, because this deck is not as good as decks I don't think that I have been reliable with in the past. We only have 3 things we can move at this point. I think putting a Direwolf on something that hits hard would be really nice. The double hit, just making it on something that naturally does damage. So if we throw the Direwolf onto, let's say this one, it's like not that hard for us to get out, and that's potentially 8 damage in the far left. And that gives a nice solution with the Turner, which we still do actually need for the boss. And this is going to be another tough boss, both because it is the Trapper, and because we have so much trouble choosing the speed at which we kill the boss. Because our Kingfishers are too quick. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, our Kingfishers have more than 2 life now, but actually this is a way that our Kingfishers would get killed. Would be to take 1 damage when they hit stuff. We got to be careful about the Kingfisher location. I can't just automatically put it like center left. Okay, but the cat we can put center left, and we probably should. Right? I don't want to go to 1 here, but I think I have to play it. And the cat, with just a little help, clears a lane, but it probably won't be how we end up winning. And we want to make sure the cat gets hit. We don't want to make the cat do the hitting, because then it will spawn its thing. Though actually, the cat just dies here. Not ideal. But we did do a bunch of damage. Now we have time to draw other stuff. I'm going to main deck because I want to get to stuff we can play. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so now our goal is to get the cockroach out, because the cockroach, when it dodges, will create something that's also immortal, and those tails will be able to play forever, and that can buy us infinite time. So I just need, yeah. So actually, I don't want the furry tail to trade, because I want to get out the river snapper quickly. Okay, yeah. Good cockroach. Good cockroach. Good that we got the totem. That's actually going to be super clutch here. So many little things can end up being really important to a run succeeding or failing. So we take one here. It's good we did so much with the cat. And do we need the river snapper to die to get to our 4th bones? No. So we can put the bones here, and we can dodge away. And that will create an infinitely spawning. No, it doesn't dodge away. No, we need it to attack us. Oh. Oh. Okay. Now what? Now, did we just die this turn? I shouldn't have done that. That was horrible. We have to use the turner now. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Because when we kill the trap, the raven kills us. So we can't kill the trap, and we can't get anything down. I didn't realize that we die when we attack the frog because it has the 1. I have to turner, which means we just chuck the snapper to them. Because we can't sacrifice it. Yeah, we have to turner. Okay. We work with what we've got. And we pass. I think this will keep every lane but the far left closed. We go to 2. We're going to lose, aren't we? Alright, the strange frog, when it dies, will be replaced by the trap. That's good. We get a pelt. Okay, that can delay damage for a bit. Yeah, they only have 1 file they can attack us on. So we need to see cards. We need to see cards. Pack rat. Pack rat's good. Alright, the pelts will give us 2 turns. We can spawn a new item. We can start new plan. Oh man, I'm such a screw up. This is hard though. Okay. Okay, that shows we can't open any lane, right? We're at 2. So if I use the grizzlies to kill the river snapper, we would die to the raven. So I can't do that this turn. But I do want to block its damage, so I think we're going to go squirrel. And we can sacrifice 2 squirrels, which means we'll have the cockroach ready to go if needed. What do we want to do? Where do we want to put the pack rat? Anywhere but far left we lose if we do it. So we have to go far left. Right, easy choice. Okay, that's not nothing. That makes it a little easier to play a grizzly next turn, which can clear the snapper and the raven. So we don't die to the raven, which we would if we let the pack rat take the next turn. That means I already have 3 sacrifices ready, so let's draw a real card. Okay, that's our good cockroach. Does that do anything for us? No, we still need to play. We still need to play the grizzly. I guess I'm gonna do it the squirrel. Did we ever boost our grizzlies? I don't think so. We didn't combine them or anything. Okay, so this kills the raven. Are we at 1 life? I feel like we're at 1 life. I shouldn't have been blocking until we were at 1. Maybe I blocked it 2. Yeah, I blocked it 2. I probably should have waited. I wanted to have options to open up other lanes, but I think we were never going to have them. Okay, I got to see cards. That's not it. Okay, we go to 6. We can sack the grizzly and a cockroach next turn if wanted to get like the wolf or something. So we should got to draw main deck. We got to see cards. Okay, the bat. The bat is a beautiful draw. Now we can pick our card. And what do we need? I mean, we're going to need the kingfisher, right? We're going to need the kingfisher plus this, the bell ringer. Kingfisher and bell ringer does it. So what do we get first? Does it matter? Let's get the kingfisher first, but we need to draw the bell ringer or have enough damage in a lane. Now, which lane are we least scared of opening? Because we now have to open a lane for them because we can't lethal them this turn. So I think we have to play the wolf. Stack these 2 to the wolf. And we need to start letting them do damage to us. We can't let them do it with the adder because the adder is a pain to kill. Problem. Will it be a problem? Probably won't. It only does 1 a turn, and it doesn't block flying, so I can't screw up on my flying placement. So I think let's open the right lane. And what we need... So killing the leaping trap will give us a pelt. That's a blocker, right? Blocker doesn't help. We need sacrifices. We're going to come really close to decking ourselves. Because we have enough bones that we should be able to sack 2 cockroaches. So we need 1 more sacrifice. Hopefully they don't play any more cards. We need 1 more sacrifice, and we need the bell ringer. And that does it. Because the bell ringer can clear a grizzly, and then the kingfisher can hit that lane. It's running real slow. That doesn't do it, but okay. Now we have a new answer. Kingfisher opens a lane, and then cockroach and other kingfisher are next to it, and the cockroach does 1, and the kingfisher next to it does 4, or does 5 because the cockroach gives it a plus. So I'm going to pass a turn because we can. Sorry it's running so slow. Then we're going to get a squirrel. And then what lanes do we want? We have so many bones, or we have enough bones. Okay. I'm going to put this far left. Then we're going to put our top kingfisher there. That's going to be the clear a bear fisher. That goes far left. Okay. That will lethal them next turn. Yeah. And we're going to take 2. We're going to go to 2. That's fine. The leaping trap only kills the thing in front of it. So by killing the leaping trap, we don't open anything up that we don't want. Oh shit! I forgot there was overkill damage. Oh, did I just screw it up? Oh, this was straightforward. Okay, so now, okay. No, we still have outs. We need our Kingfisher, and we need the bell ringer. So we got to draw the bell ringer. There's the bell ringer. Okay. Okay, it's all good. We block the bullfrog. Just slow down the damage. It's all good. It's all good. I'm trying my best to throw. Trying my best. We have enough aqua things. Yeah. We're gonna pass a turn. We put the bell ringer either far left or center left will work. Far left is better. Yeah, we put it far left. And then we put the Kingfisher next to it and the cockroach next to that. And that gives the Kingfisher the +1 that gets it to 5 damage. Oh my god, what a horrible mistake. It's horrendous. And we'll draw AS Squirrel next turn. Chaos right to the end. Sorry it's running so slow. This recording's too long. I'd pause it and split up a new one, or start a new one, but I really like getting it all in one if I can. And yeah, this has been... It also takes like 6 hours to splice recordings together that are long. So yeah, so that's sufficient to clear out a grizzly, and we just need to clear the lane next to the grizzly, or have damage from the lane next to the grizzly. The Kingfisher has bifurcated strike. That has been our glory. Luckily, it has the full 4 attack. Wish we hadn't thrown away our 8/6 one, but this is just enough. Man, it's running slow. Again, I apologize for how choppy this is. And then we gotta do one more thing. We have to put the cockroach next to the Kingfisher. Please scroll. There you go. And that's +1, and that's it. And we draw a worker ant because we have that ability. Okay. Good thing we put the double strike on the bell ringer. Bad thing I'm an idiot, but I was so worried about an earlier adder, and I missed that this one would overkill, because if the thing kills you, the overkill damage I don't think goes through. So I didn't realize the overkill would go through, or I didn't notice it. Something didn't click where that damage would happen, and then the adder automatically kills back, and our Kingfisher, which is almost invincible, dies. Tragic. Alright, we might take Lammergeier, we might take Direwolf, we're not taking a 1-drop. Let's take Direwolf. We do actually use the bones now that we have this whole weird cockroach thing. And final boss. Final boss. So we'll get items for sure. Like, sure, you could like move a Direwolf ability around or something, but we just didn't take the Direwolf. Okay. You know I love this versus the final boss. And yeah, let's be able to draw a card whenever we need it. And actually, because the Kingfishers fly, that means the final stage is now trivial with Magical Bleach because we have flying damage, and so we just go over it. And so we just need to beat the first 2 phases, which means we basically just need him not to target the Kingfisher. Because we're going to force a draw of one of our Kingfishers, hopefully to kill quickly. Okay, so we don't have any way to immediately clear these, but our 8/6 Kingfisher actually clears 2 of those at once, right? So, is that our good one? Is the good one? I think this is not the good one. Okay. So we're going to draw the good one. because that's phase 1 beat. And we don't have to take on any risk. We got to put in one of the center rows. We just have to hope he doesn't target it first turn. We could magical bleach so he couldn't block here, but I think that's too fancy. If he doesn't target the Kingfisher, we have just won with the cannon. So there's a 75% chance we just win. And if he does, then we have to work on things. But we do beat the first phase. And that will give us some cards, which makes it a little easier to block. Come on, cannon. Be nice. Oh, the cannon can target the same square in front of it. Alright, I was wrong earlier in a previous video, but also that's obviously terrible for us. Okay, let's get ready to play our next Kingfisher. Nothing else we can do. We can't force it to move. We don't have any movement cards. Okay. Phase 1 beaten, but sadly we did not just beat the game. We would have, right? We do beat the game there if they don't target the Kingfisher square. Maybe I shouldn't have drawn a squirrel. I probably should have drawn main deck. I forgot we were going to get... it's like you get a rabbit and a squirrel out of this, right? Or 2 squirrels. Okay, those are weird defensive cards, but we can actually sack them to themselves to get whatchamacallit, bones. Though this gives us bones as well. Okay, so we want to keep that seaman where he is. I do not want to use my other Kingfisher until the sea thing is gone. But actually, let's just draw and pass, because this will kill their seaman, and then we can play, yeah, then we just win. Straightforward. Let's get the cat. Let's have a moment to shine for the cat. I think this is easy. If you see the win with me, the win is just we play our Kingfisher next turn, and they won't have a blocker because their seaman's dead, so they can't block flying, and then we bleach. So I will say our win. And that's it. I can't believe I did it. With this stupid deck. Is it so stupid after all? Yes, it still is. It's a terrible deck. Terrible, terrible deck. I think Stinky does not work on the final boss. Like, you can up its attack by having Annoying, but Stinky will not. On the ship part, Stinky will not affect it. Oh my god. We did it. The game is winnable. The game is winnable. I really thought this would take me absolute ages. I think I must have gotten insanely lucky. It turned out winning ended up being having really good Kingfishers, not sacrificing them. But also that's not... I wonder if this means I should take more risks in general. Like, anytime I have a 1-2 or something, I should just be like, yeah, let's either make it a 3-2 or sacrifice it and try to make it busted. And that, like, anytime you take a 2-2 there, you're making a mistake. But maybe the flying part helped. However I got bifurcated was really key. Yeah, I guess taking the Mantis ability really helped. Yeah, let's just have the Kingfisher finish it. Because now it can't block flying, so we go straight to face. I love the magic bleach on the final boss. And that's it. That's all 8. So my next inscription video, I think I'm going to do one of those like tier list maker things where I judge the cards. I think that would be fun. And then I think I'm going to be done annoying everyone with inscription videos of Skullstorm, at least for a bit, because I actually beat all 8. Which again, I thought this one was going to take me absolute ages. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm really proud of myself. I made mostly good decisions. We totally screwed up that third boss. But figured out win conditions. I think that's a lot of getting better at some games. Is like, you make better decisions at impactful moments, and sometimes that's like setting yourself up well, and sometimes that's when everything's going wrong or you're screwing up, finding whatever's the thing that gives you the highest percentage chance to survive. And I think that's something I did well over the course of these runs, is when there was kind of one way to that had a chance to win, or one way that had a clearly better chance than others, I was good at navigating into that. So that's every deck. That's all 8 decks. Here's my final ranking. I think the best deck is the Null deck. I think the second best deck is... I'm going to go Blood over Trifurcated, but they're close. They're very similar to me. Fourth, I think Bones. Fifth, Vanilla. Looking at them, I think Vanilla must be worse than Bones, but playing them, I seem to play better with Vanilla. I'm not sure why it is. Sixth is Egg, though Egg took me by far the most tries here, so maybe I'm just wrong. Seventh, Ant. Eighth, Waterborne. And we're done.